Hello and welcome to another segment of Open House where we celebrate who we are and what we do in this great community of ours. I'm Raymond Galker and I'm here at Community Media, and today I have one of my heroes of the county, Ralph Serpe, who is the CEO and president of the Adams County Community Foundation. Is that correct, Ralph?
I'm still, yes, the president and CEO of the Adams County Community Foundation. Ray, you're too kind, and I appreciate you having me on today.
Yes, but we're very lucky to have you in this community, Ralph. You do such a great job. But you just recently, the Adams County Community Foundation, just recently had a gathering of organizations that try to serve our community. And the name of that gathering was Coronavirus Can't Shut Down Philanthropy?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us, Ralph, what this gathering was about?
So we heard from a number of people in the community that wanted to find a way to help others. I think what happened was, as COVID-19 is sweeping across the country and sweeping across the state, that there were many people in Adams County who wanted to find a way to help themselves and their community. And we at the Community Foundation were hearing from different facets and different groups in the community. And we're always under the assumption that everybody in education knows everybody in healthcare, and everybody in healthcare knows everyone in arts and culture and business, but that's not the case. So what we did was create a community call-in. We invited a dozen or so nonprofit organizations, business associations, government entities, healthcare, to join us so they could provide an opportunity to give updates on what their organizations were doing to address this public health crisis. Then, Ray, we opened the call to anyone in the community who wanted to hear the information directly. We wanted to be able to provide this direct from the horse's mouth without being filtered through social media. And we were able to hear from nearly every sector in Adams County, helping residents prepare today and to prepare for the future. And we heard from a great number of organizations on that phone call.
And this phone call was mainly about the virus and what was going on and what their organizations are prepared to do, plan to do, and how they could support each other in that.
Sure. We asked folks to talk about not only what they were doing as individual organizations and business associations and groups, but we wanted them to give us sort of the view from where they stood on their sector, on their space. So we invited the Adams Economic Alliance to come in and talk about the work they're doing to secure information, to make sure information about the SBA loans and the federal grant programs for local businesses, to get that information out to people. On the business side, we also heard from the chamber, the Gettysburg Adams Chamber of Commerce, and we heard from Destination Gettysburg. So we wanted to have a business segment so those on the call who were interested in securing resources for their businesses knew who to talk to, knew who to go to for that information if they didn't know that before. We had Marty Qualley with the Adams County Commissioner let us know that the county was focused on emergency management services, keeping county staff safe, keeping residents informed. We also heard from Gettysburg Borough, and we heard from Representative Torian Ecker's office as to what they're doing from a municipality's point of view, but also at what our state representative is being charged to do. Gettysburg College, one of our largest employers in the county, let us know that they're continuing to host about 50 students on campus who could not return home. So they gave us sort of the look on what their campus and what their employees are doing. But we also heard from Dr. Westall, the superintendent of Upper Adams School District, and his plans or their plans to get Upper Adams students connected to the internet, because about 200 families aren't connected, and we needed to get those students connected to do e-learning. We had your friends at the Gettysburg Times talk to us and talk to people directly about what they're doing to keep information going around the clock. And they've recently gone from publishing 6 editions a week to 3. While they're producing 6 editions, they're only printing and delivering 3, and that really helps them stay focused on getting the information up. And they've also opened up their information portal, the Gettysburg Times portal, for those that don't have a subscription to the paper. On those days the paper isn't printed, that portal is open for anyone to access and anyone to see. But I'm just going to say a little bit about that, and I'll say that a little later. But even though the Gettysburg Times allows you to get that information for free, like community media, the Gettysburg Times is vital to providing information in this region. So we really need to, and it benefits us to pay for those descriptions when we can. We had South Central Community Action Program, SCAP, along with United Way and the Adams County Housing Authority, give us a terrific overview of basic services that are available to residents in need at the time, especially if they've recently lost a job and income. And the United Way urged residents to go to PA 211 first. PA 211 is our statewide hotline for really helpful information on a variety of issues. If you're online, go to PA 211 first or dial 211, and that gets you someone that can help you with community information. Finally, we had Jane Hyde, the president of Gettysburg Hospital with Wellspan Health, to give us the latest information on their preparation for COVID-19 here in Adams County. I mean, they're doing everything from canceling elective surgeries, closing all but 2 entrances to the hospital. They've set up a screening tent for people that are coming to get tested, although at the time of the call, you still needed a doctor's orders to do that. And then from the community foundation's perspective, we're really encouraging members of our community to stand by their favorite nonprofit organizations, because we really need you to continue to give to the organizations that you're already supporting. We're at a time where we may see a number of nonprofit organizations cease to exist because they really can't survive without your help. We're also encouraging people to think strategically about supporting organizations that bring resources to this community. So places like the Adams Economic Alliance, Destination Gettysburg, Main Street Gettysburg, they all bring tourism and business into our community. They help stoke the economic engine. And while they have memberships, and while they get, in the case of Destination Gettysburg, some pillow tax money, you can imagine with the reduction in pillow tax over the course of this year, that every one of those organizations that are really working hard to bring money into and keep the economic engine going in Adams County, they're going to need your help too. It's not always deductible, but it certainly is generous to support those organizations. And finally, I would say, Ray, that we're encouraging people to open their hearts to organizations to either increase their giving or to provide direct support to new organizations, particularly those around housing, food, care of all kinds to the people that are most in need. And that was what 15 community leaders imparted on about 250 callers on Tuesday.
That was an awesome meeting that you had there, Ralph. And I have questions because it would be nice. You gave us a little bit of information about each organization. Is there a place that we can go to find more of what came out of that meeting?
Well, that was a summary. Of course, you want to hear it directly from folks. We are going to have a second community call-in on Tuesday, April 7th. We'll have some of those same folks on the line, but we'll also have folks from different organizations representing a broader spectrum of business and industry and education, and there were a number of online media, whether it was Facebook or others, that provided some good background information on that phone call. But what we're finding is that information around COVID-19 and the community is changing every day. It's changing every hour. So the purpose of that phone call was to help people understand who they should go talk to if they have a question about something. It wasn't so much the particular information that this organization is doing this and that organization is doing that. But if you're thinking, my business is in trouble and it's going to be stressed, I want to learn more about those small business association loans, that after that phone call, you know that it's Adams Economic Alliance, it's the chamber, it's or the business organization groups, that we need people to understand that there are, or we hope to help people learn which organizations are in what space and what area of the community. So that information is on the Community Foundation's website at adamscountycf.org. And if you click on the information on the phone call, you'll see a rundown of the call and a rundown of the organizations that participated.
So the Adams County Community Foundation is a vital process that you manage for this whole Adams York area, in that you provide the connection between those people who are doing awesome things in the community to make this a better community for some people who probably don't have any advocates or any other place to go. You match those organizations up with those individuals who want to give back financially or in some other means.
Right, and we actually do that in the opposite way. So the Community Foundation exists to create a permanent civic endowment for Adams County. So our board and our staff raise money each year. We invest it in a permanent endowment, and each year we take a portion of that endowment and we grant it out in the community. Then we open up the infrastructure, this charitable infrastructure of the Community Foundation, to anyone, to any donor who wants to create their own charitable fund to do whatever it is they want that charitable fund to do. And some of those charitable funds that they create support Adams County broadly. Some of them will support a specific organization or school district. Some of them will create scholarship funds. So our job is to work with donors and to keep donors informed and encourage donors, whether they're here in Adams County or anywhere in the world, to come back and invest in Adams County. Through the process of encouraging people to support our local community, we've come to know many different aspects of the community. And as I said up front, that we assume that everybody knows everyone else because we're such a small, tight-knit community. But the Community Foundation does sit in a unique position because we do know and work with government, business, nonprofits, donors, and a variety of sectors. So part of our role in the community is also to convene people and organizations together. So this phone call last Tuesday and the one on Tuesday, April 7th, is all about the convening different segments of the community together so people can hear what's happening. They have more of a holistic view of what's happening in Adams County over the course of this health crisis.
So if someone out there wanted to help our community at this time of crisis, and I know there's some people who are looking at putting their house in order, their last will and testament and stuff like that, because this kind of like shakes you and tell you, you know, what reality is. And if someone's looking to help give to the community, be it a one-time gift, be it setting up some type of giving on a regular schedule, or passing away and leaving some money, your organization is the organization to go to.
Yeah, if donors want information on how they can help the community, by all means, contact the Community Foundation. We exist to help donors who care about this community invest in this community. And I have to say, we're in a unique position as an organization. We're also in a unique time. 102 years ago, my grandmother, who was one of 10 children in Scranton, Pennsylvania, lost her parents and 7 of her siblings in the 1918 flu epidemic. My grandmother and 2 of her siblings were adopted into another family, and the trajectory of her life and subsequently my father and my own family's lives changed dramatically. And the community of Scranton and communities all over Pennsylvania and around the world, but really in many communities in the United States were just dramatically altered. And we're seeing that unfold now. We're just getting an idea as to what that looks like now. Another thing happened 100 years ago, Ray, and I think you're starting to hit on it. And that is what we consider to be blue chip organizations, these nonprofit organizations that have been around for a century. It's no mistake that places like organizations like the Red Cross, like the YWCA, and community foundations were started 100 years ago when people in the community stepped up and said, I know this is affecting everyone in the community, but including my own family, but I want to find a way to help my community forever. And they created institutions that are still going strong today. So I'll go back and say, we really do need you, everyone as a donor, to support those organizations that you rely on. If you rely on community media for information, for gosh darn it, write them a check. And you know, it's tough to keep the lights on and the cameras going. It's tough to keep Ray at the anchor desk here at Adams County Television and community media. But it also means that there are organizations like the YWCA who rely heavily on child care program income and income from the gym, where that's gone away because we've had to close everything. They still need your help. 100 years later, they still need your help and they still need your support. And while we are physically distant from each other, I don't buy into social distancing. I can buy into physical distancing. So we're going to be physically distant, but socially connected. And that's what's really important to remember right now. So I think that might be my takeaway for today, Ray, is that while it's important for us to remain physically distant to protect each other, to protect our healthcare workers and our families and ourselves, that we need to remain socially connected to the people, organizations, to everyone in our community who needs help at this time.
And the best way of helping the community is help those organizations who exist right now to give those services, and do that with your funds.
Yeah, you know, I would say don't abandon the folks that you've always supported. Continue that support. we have a lot of folks who watch community media who serve on the boards of nonprofit organizations. Board members, if you're a member of the board of a nonprofit organization, don't wait to the end of the year to make your annual gift to support that organization. So I'm calling on the board of community media, make your gift to community media now. If you're on the board of the community foundation, it's the same thing. So, so it's really important. It starts at home. Take care of your family. Take care of the organizations that you're responsible for, and continue as you can, make gifts to those organizations that you've cared for year in and year out. And again, to remember that there are organizations that are working hard to make sure that our businesses stay afloat during this time. So gifts to Adams Economic Alliance, or gifts to the Chamber, or Destination Gettysburg, or Main Street Gettysburg, or your local chamber may not be deductible. You may not be able to write it off on your taxes, but supporting those organizations that are providing really significant support to local businesses, to identify resources that can come into Adams, that's really important. And if we stopped and thought about it for a while, we realize there are a lot of organizations and government entities and think about the burden we're about to put on the healthcare system. And it's okay to stop and take care of yourself first, because taking care of yourself first then allows you to take care of those other groups and organizations. Think outside the box a little bit and think, I want to support that organization that's going to be there for me when I need them.
Thank you, Ralph. And we've reached the end of our time, and it's always a pleasure to spend time with you. I appreciate what you and your organization has done for community media, but really what you've done for all the nonprofits in this whole area. So
thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. While we've had to postpone a lot of events at the Community Foundation, our annual meeting, we canceled our scholarship breakfast this year. We are still on for the Giving Spree, our annual day of giving, for November 5th. And we are working right now to make sure that if we can't all come together at the Gettysburg area middle school, that we will be able to come together online on November 5th. And we'll have the infrastructure, a great infrastructure in place in order to do that. So we'll either see you in person or we'll see you online. Again, thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much for being here. Community media is an incredible asset to this community. And we add you to that list of organizations we encourage people to support during this time and all year long. Thanks so much for your time, Ray. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ralph. And thanks for watching this segment of Open House. And until we get to see each other again, stay healthy, be kind, and remember, you are the best.